Hello everyone, it's Jay here from the Trading Court Podcast, a Pokemon TCG podcast bringing you anything and everything Pokemon TCG related. If you are looking for Pokemon TCG competitive decks ready to go, including GLC decks, please head over to PokéDex4U.com. Pokédex4U has a variety of decks ready for sale, with each deck being fully customizable and bespoke to your needs. Use the code TradingCourtTCG for 5% off your first order. Now let's get on to the episode. Hello everyone and welcome to the Trading Court, a Pokemon TCG podcast about anything and everything Pokemon TCG related. Jay here, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts again this week, Alex, Andy and Kath. Hello everyone, you right?
Good evening.
This week's it's a bit interesting actually. It's gone back to basics. We've not got a guest. It's feels like we've had guests for the past couple of weeks, so it's just back to us four. But what we haven't done for a while is talk about what we've been playing. So I know that Alex has been playing. I know that Andy and I have played. Kath's obviously saying no. So, Alex, how you doing? And what you've been playing? Any news?
Hello. I have been playing my trusty Gardevoir deck. I joined a Limitless tournament actually. I've actually wanted to play in it for a while. I saw an interview with one of the TCG players that won at Malmo, and he said that I can't remember who it was, but he said that they asked him, how did you get it? How do you practice? And he said, I play a lot of online tournaments. So I thought, all right, I'll give it a go. Because the standard seems pretty good. So I joined the tournament. I think it was 70 or 80 person. Let me bring it up. Yeah, 75 player tournament. So relatively large for a Limitless tournament, at least in terms of comparison to the other tournaments that were going on, usually like 20 or 30 people on the other ones. It wasn't one of the late nights. It's just a private.
I was just about to ask that. Was it one of the late nights?
No, it wasn't, because they're like 4 a.m.
Are they the one like? I think Zach Lesage runs them.
Yeah. I didn't play in that kind of tournament because it's just too late for me. I think it starts at like 11, 12 a.m. my time and finishes like 6, 7, 8. Like no.
Wow.
So I didn't want to do that because it's US based, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this one, there was relatively a reasonable time, starting at 6 and finished about 10, 11 p.m. And I played Gardevoir and actually did pretty well. I finished 18th out of the 75. I went on a win streak of 3-0. I was like, okay, I'm doing well. And then I went on a lose streak of 3. And then I finished on 4 wins, 3 losses, and there was no draws. It was all best of 1. So I came up against a Gudra deck and I beat that, and a Miraidon deck that I beat. And the one that I stumped on actually, there was another Miraidon, and he was playing a load of one prize attackers, and I usually beat Miraidon by up trading. But he just kept bringing out these one prizes, and my prize trades was off. I'm not running the Sky Seal Stone, which I missed in that matchup. Obviously, it's nothing against Lost Box, but I missed the Skin in that because I could have got 4 prizes on the regular QV max. But yeah, he just kept putting out these one prizes, and I couldn't up trade any. Yeah, it was a bit awkward, and I ended up losing because I researched away too many. I researched away all my Pokemon card, like the Clara, Miriam, the Pokemon recovery cards. That's the one. I researched away them all, including a Palpad. On like multiple different turns, and it came to the end, and I needed to get back my Gardevoir for game. I couldn't, and I was like, well, just going to concede because I've got no attackers. So that's a lesson learned. And just very quickly as well, I did give a go to Metafy. I know there's a lot of it going around on Twitter, and a lot of the top TCG players are offering coaching sessions on Metafy. So I got coached by Nico Alabas, and who's a top TCG player. I chose him because he played Gardevoir in the latest tournament. I think it was Malmo he played in, and he day-two'd. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's go with him. And he was really good. And how it works is, so we went through my deck, and I was just kind of told him what my strategy was and what I wanted and what my hardest matchups were, which was obviously Lost Box. And something really interesting is, so we started with the skeleton of the deck, and he went through these cards these are the cards you need to play the game. So obviously your Curliers and these rare these are the cards that you need to actually play the game, and then you have your other cards that are less so. And I had too many cards that were like tech cards, power cards, what you want to call them, pennies, things like that. And I had too many of them. And we kind of streamlined it a bit so it's more consistent to actually play the deck. So that was really helpful. And then we played a couple of games. TCG Live crashed, so we had to restart a game. And it was good because he was like, he was doing like what we were doing, and I was sharing my screen, and he was saying, "Oh, there was one really interesting thing that I actually never thought about is when you're going second." I was benching just what I wanted to bench, so I put my routes down, and I put my Greninja down, and put a whatever down, and then I passed, and then he went escape rope. No, he was going first, and I benched what I wanted to bench in the opening state in the like setup.
Yeah.
And then he escape roped, and he was like, if you bench your poker, because when you're going second, there's no you can't be knocked out, so it's fine to have just one poker.
Yeah.
So when you're going second, you should always just you should not have a bench. You should only have your active. Yeah. Otherwise, you risk getting. Because I had a Mew in the active, and then I benched the routes, and he escape roped, and I was like, well, this is a bit awkward now. I need to get the Mew back in the active. So that was a really interesting piece of advice, and I never thought about that. A lot of things were like when to play Vs and like what matchups not to play Vs. Zacian is really good in Lost Box. We were mainly talking about Lost Box, but not to put it down in Lugia because it takes an easy prize. So yeah, really I'd recommend getting a coach. If even just to analyze your sequencing and analyze your decision making, because I was making a lot of odd decisions. I actually won one of the games with him only because he was coaching me on what I should be doing. One of the plays that he coached me to make is a play that I'd never would have thought of, and I kept the penny in, and he'd spread some damage on an active Radiant Greninja, and I had a research in hand, so I was like, well, I should probably just research because I've got a pretty bad hand. And he was like, no, you should penny the Greninja to take the damage off that Sableye just done. Yeah. And yeah, I never would have thought of that. Like I always assume, okay, I need to draw as many cards as I need. I need to see as many cards as I can.
Well, that's like instinct, really. It's
instinct. Yeah.
The more cards you see, the better.
I'm watching the tournaments as well, Malmo, and I watched a bit of Taiwan as well. The commentary from Azul, anyway. And a lot of the players, they don't play super aggressive all the time. Like a lot of the time, sometimes they just pass, and they could take a knockout or they could do something, but they leave it, they give it an extra turn to like let it set up. And I think I think that's really important to know actually when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. It's not something that I really considered.
Yeah, because choosing whether to advance your board state or take a knockout, you should really probably advance the board state, shouldn't you?
Yeah, and even whether to advance the board state or just draw more cards or use a research. I think with the next set with Paldea Evolved, I've seen a lot of people not taking prizes on purpose to ensure that reversal energy works.
Yeah, we're in a slower game now, aren't we? So you will see more
interesting
reversal energy usage.
Yeah, so that's been my couple of weeks.
So was that session with Nico before or after the tournament?
That was the day after that of Malmo. Actually, I messaged
Not
him.
Malmo, no, your tournament. Sorry, your online tournament.
No, yeah, it was after the tournament because I wanted to book because my tournament was I think on a Monday, and the Malmo was on a Sunday, and obviously he was. I wanted he was obviously playing, and so he couldn't, and then he was traveling.
He came 34th in Malmo.
Came 34th in Malmo. Yeah, obviously.
He also won the London Cup.
Yeah. He's a really good coach, really good player.
And then,
I definitely recommend.
Yeah, he's really good. He's got some really good finishes. So cool. Okay, Andy, what have you been playing this week?
Not much. Just on Saturday. Well, the video's already out. People would have seen it already. But myself and you got some building battle kits, and we played some Pokemon. So we recorded at ours, mine and Kath's. I built the. I got the Murkrow promo.
Yep.
So I tried building around the United Wings mechanic. Didn't go very well because every time I tried getting my Tinker Ton into play, Jamie is like knock out my Tinker Tink or
yeah. I think I got the Pelipper promo.
Yeah.
And I ended up not even using it in the
No,
deck.
yeah, you didn't.
I just went with the Tinkerton line, and then I also went. I said at the time
Oricorio as well.
And I had a Oricorio with the ability
that was annoying.
That was because he'd hit me and then I'll just heal it off next time.
Yeah.
All my Pokemon were heal 10 off. Heal 20 each turn off all your evolution Pokemon.
Oh, no. Is it all the evolution?
Yeah.
Is it just one? All right.
No, I think it was all. I believe.
I thought it's just off your active Pokemon.
RTFC.
Do we have early?
We have an RTFC.
I'm going to go and check it now.
Well, I mean, you played it, so.
Yeah.
Yes, you played it wrong.
I should do. I should know. Yeah, sorry, it is active. Sorry, it is only active. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just
once
20
during,
from your active.
Ardent Dancing. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from your active evolution Pokemon. So I managed to build up because I had the low kicks.
Yeah.
And that's quite good because you basically it does 80 damage for one when you evolve. Well, it does 80 damage for one. Is it 80 or 70 damage for one grass energy? But if you evolve that turn, it does an extra 100 damage. It does 170 for one grass. So I was quite aggressive with that, and then two grass I think it just does 70 anyway. So I was quite aggressive with that, which let me build my Tinkerton up, and then eventually just led with a Tinkerton, and then every time you did some damage, I was able to just keep healing it off, really. So yeah, it was quite good actually. Quite enjoyed it. So
we didn't pull good.
No. I'll look at pre-release continues. Chris Paul. It's awful actually. I'll look at pre-release. So yeah,
Violet was all right, but
I got that Mariah.
Yeah.
I got gold rare candy.
We got pulls, but like they weren't anything special.
Not in comparison to other people. You sit around and it seems to be kids get the best pulls.
Yeah.
Kids always seem to get the best pulls. But so I mean obviously we've played some Paldea Evolve. We've seen some of the cards. It's scary how it's come around so fast. By time of release of this episode, we'll be a week away from Paldea Evolved, which is scary, isn't it? Really, how fast it's just absolutely flown by. But also really excited and looking forward to it. Obviously, Chen Pao deck is, I think, on most of our lists now. Realistically,
that's my only deck I want to build from Paldea Evolved.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tinglu. I would like to build a Tinglu. I've got all the, I've got Miraidon. Not Miraidon, sorry, I've got Koraidon, and Great Tusk, and I thought maybe that would be good, good pairing with Tinglu. But I think there's some definite plays there. So it's exciting. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing, as we discussed with Joe last week, Iona just changes the game. It changes the game, and the same with Reversal Energy. All of a sudden, it does become probably a bit of a longer game. A slow play. Whereas usually it's just reserved for Gardevoir decks. Now it seems like all decks will be slow decks. So So moving on then, we've had there's been no tournaments to talk about. Obviously we spoke about Malmo and Hartford last week. There is still a couple more tournaments still to come. I think NAIC is the big one. Looking forward to that.
We've got a regional this weekend, I think, haven't we?
Where's the regional, do you know?
Oh,
this is testing you. You.
Just quickly, while Andy's looking at it,
I'm sure there's Milwaukee. Okay. I didn't need to Google it.
Sorry, Al, what was that?
I just had a thought while you were looking about that. We're talking about reversal energy. Do you reckon Zacian could be played in Lugia with 4 reversal energies? And when you're down on prizes, you can just whack 4 reversal energies, and it's 12 energies, and you're doing about nearly 400 damage.
No. No, I don't think so. It isn't reversal energy. You can only have it. I'm sure it's got something where it can
Oh,
only be
it's got to be an
only
evolution
one. It's got to be
Pokemon.
an evolution Pokemon.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
And
Without a rule box. Yeah.
Yep,
So
that's
no.
right.
Okay.
So no.
Yeah.
So no.
Nope.
So so there's actually 3 tournaments this weekend.
Wow. Busy.
So
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Santiago, and there's a special event in Torino. Should go, Alex.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Torino. Yes. Shy. He's going there as a caster.
Yeah.
At the last minute, I saw on his
Shay's
Twitter.
going.
He's been called in last minute, I think, to cast. So that's that'll be really cool. Be interesting to see. Obviously, this is the last one. Is this the last one? What's pre?
It's the last one to until NAIC.
Yes, NAIC is the last one really of the Scarlet and Violet base format, and then we've obviously got.
Oh no, there's Fresno.
When's that? Sorry.
10th of June.
All right.
So
Yeah,
literally the day after Paldea Evolves, yeah.
Some special events in South Africa.
Okay, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Again, I think New Fusion Strike seems to be a popular choice at the moment, which is scary. Yeah, it feels like we stepped into a time machine there. But
I don't mind.
I was going to say, Kath, I'm sure you're absolutely fine. You've got the deck built still, haven't you?
I'm getting the hang of it now, so.
Yeah.
Just in time for it to be meta.
I wonder if the Spirit team will just lay it to rest finally.
Yeah.
I guess like Joe said last week, it gets round it. It gets round it. Fusion Strike Energy negates it, I believe.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So that's why I think we'll probably see an increase on Fusion Strike, and the fact that it's won 2 tournaments, and I know it's being played a lot more. Really, does
Fusion Strike Energy negate the effects of abilities. Or attacks? Abilities.
Yep.
There's also a tournament that's just gone this weekend, isn't there, in Taiwan, using the new standard format. Have you seen the top 8 of that?
No, I've not.
There were.
I did see Azul was actually watching it on his Twitch, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, there were 4 Gardevoir decks, 2 Lost Box, a Chen Pao, and I think and something else. Because there was a Gardevoir mirror in top 8, and then Gardevoir versus Chen Pao, Gardevoir versus Lost Box, another Gardevoir versus Lost Box, and is that it? Then there's 2 more. I can't remember what the other 2 were.
Let's have a look now. There was also after me saying there was no event.
Yeah.
There's actually been a few events.
Yeah.
There's actually there was a special event in Peru as well, which was won by Fusion Mew again. So that's 3 tournaments this one now. In that tournament there was 123 players. No Guardi.
In which terms?
This special event in Peru. There was no Guardi. The top 4 was obviously first place Fusion Strike Mew, second place was Lugia, third place was Arc Gira, fourth place was a Fusion Mew, fifth place was a DCE Mew, sixth place was Rapid Strike Box, seventh place Lugia, and the one we talked about last week actually, in 8th place there was the Arc Dura Umbreon package.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. 123 players. Fusion Strike Mew made it again. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. So it was Rodrigo Montoya. Looking, I think that's the first time he's placed in a tournament. Having a look at Limitless, he's got no other accolades. But yeah, congratulations to Rodrigo. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of tournaments still to come. It seems to be they seem to be coming thick and fast at the moment. So it's enjoyable. No, well, I don't want to hold my breath, but no controversy out of any of them yet. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Not that I've seen. Usually that's
it's been
when
a
you know,
good week.
usually that's when you know an event has been active, is because
Yes.
there's been controversy on Twitter.
That's why we didn't know what was going on.
Exactly, yeah. But what we did know was going on, and something that we have we've discussed in the podcast before, but it is now completely official, and also we've got a release date. So Obsidian Flames. So that is our third Scarlet and Violet set. It's been officially revealed by Pokemon in English. It's going to release on August the 11th. It's going to. I mean, the breakdown is over 190 cards. So sets still are just ridiculous size for every 3 months. 15 Pokemon EX are going to be featured, and 6 Terra Pokemon EX. Out of them, we have Charizard EX type Darkness, Tyranitar EX type Lightning, which I think is the first time since some very very old sets since there's been a Lightning type T-Tar. So looking forward to that. We've also got Ice Cube. Is it Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
That EX. Vespi Queen EX. Yeah, and then a Terra type Dragonite EX, but it's Dragon. So it's its normal type, but it's powered up, I guess. Greedent EX Terra type colorless. And then we've also got Reverum EX, Melmetal EX, and Toadscruel EX. So yeah, 12 illustration rare Pokemon, 6 special illustration rare Pokemon and supporter cards, 12 ultra rare full art etched Pokemon EX and supporter cards, more than 15 new trainer cards, and 3 hyper rare gold etched cards. ETB it's Charmander, isn't it? They've come out and it's Charmander, and they've also put a promo, which is a special art rare of Charmander. I'm just going to share my screen so that everyone can see. It looks pretty cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that, because I want to play the Charizard, Terra Charizard. Well, I want to see how good it is at least. I'll probably play it online first, but yeah. And
then all the products obviously shown. The pack art seem to be Charizard, Tyranitar, Dragonite, and Reverum. I think it's going to be a strong set, really. It's a lot of Pokemon to be announced, to be fair. 15 EX and 6 Terra Pokemon EX. How many did we get on Scarlet and Violet?
Probably about
5
6.
or 6.
Was it 5? Yeah, there wasn't many, was there? There was Banette.
Toxicroak,
because I got a million of them. Oinkologne.
Yeah.
Oinkologne.
Can't give them away.
Gardevoir.
Rhydon.
Great Tusks.
Spidops.
Yeah. Magnezone.
Okay, actually there was 9.
There's quite a few.
EX,
And what's the other?
What Terra type? Gyarados. There's Gyarados and
Arcanine. And what's the other the other ancient Pokemon, whatever it's called? Not Great Tusk, the other one. Iron Shreds. Yeah.
Iron Shreds. So there's 12 EX. 12 EX.
Sure, I'm sure there's more. Probably people that are listening are probably shouting.
Yeah.
Probably so. Yeah. But yeah, this seems to be. I really feel like Paldea Evolved has upped the game, and I think that Obsidian Flames is also going to up the game as well. The question from I think most of us is Obsidian Flame including Pokemon 151?
By the way, there's 2 more that I just thought of. There's the Cypherzaar EX and Mimikyu EX. We didn't say that.
Well, they were promos.
Though, aren't they?
Okay.
They're promos. They weren't included in the base set.
I don't think it. I'm not sure if they'll include the 151. I think we'll get our own version of 151. I don't think it'll just be bundled into other sets. Because that is going to be our holiday set, isn't it?
So like Pokemon Go, it'll be its own.
Yeah.
When's it going to release then? Because if you think we're in June now, We've got Paldea Evolve next week. In 2 months' time, we've got Obsidian Flames. Are we really saying October for a holiday set?
No,
And
it'll
then-
have to be it'll have to be summer, won't it? Unless they delay it until Christmas.
I honestly thought Obsidian Flames, in place of that, it would be the holiday set.
No,
But
I don't think it will be.
no, well, it's not. It's an actual third expansion. So, it'd be interesting to find out when we actually get the Pokemon 151.
Yeah.
But talking of the Pokemon 151, loads and loads and loads of cards have been announced. So, also some art rares. So, just going but here, so the illustration rare for Pokemon card 151. Here's the Pikachu.
Yeah,
That's
how
nice.
many Pokemon are in this card? It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Look at Alex now. He's Alex. Is like,
There's
so,
about 20 Pokemon in this card.
Gengar, Jigglypuff,
Big two.
Growlithe. Pikachu, Blastoise,
There's Pidgeys,
Slowpoke, Mr.
Side
Mime,
up on the left.
Nidorina,
Nidoran,
Butterfree,
Butterfree. What's that?
Mr. Mime.
Spearow.
Is that a Caterpie? Oh, there's Pidgeys in the tree as well.
Yeah.
There's
Is there a grey
Spearow on that-
ninja to the left of the that blue to the left in between the little girl and the boy? See that blue there? Is that Greninja?
No.
Do you think?
Is that not Mr. Mime?
Ah, maybe. It looks like a claw. There's Nidoran and
Yeah.
Nidorina.
On the, if you can see where my cursor is, that looks like a Caterpie on that lady's head.
Maybe a Weedle.
There, no, Mr. Mime's on the left, just in
I've
front
just
of the
said,
girl.
I've already
Oh, right.
Where
I
were
was
you?
looking at
Where
the-
were you looking? Sorry.
To the right, where the Caterpie is. That the blue thing to the left of the Caterpie.
I
what's
think
that?
it's just a blue.
No, I think that's just the sharp.
Yeah.
Right.
And the one here. Do you
There
reckon
could be a Mudkip.
is
I
that
think
Comfey?
it's where the Blastoise is. You can see you're not. Oh no, actually it's the Blastoise's arm and then an orange leaf or something.
Yeah, it looks like And then
It's crazy.
bottom
Slowpoke.
right. Bottom right. Do you reckon that's a Comfey?
Comfy.
Or is it just some
Yeah.
flowers?
Could be, could be.
So I mean that artwork's awesome. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that this will be potentially, it could be a promo for us. Pokemon seem to do that quite
Yeah,
often
it
for us.
seems like
Promo type of card,
that
isn't it?
would be a nice promo.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, we've got that. I've lost the page now because it went. Because there was a few more as well that I want to show.
There's
'Cause
been
there was some really, really nice ones. There was a Nidoking, which looks awesome. Here you go. Here's Nidoking.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a
That looks
Yeah.
awesome. And an Ammonite.
Yeah.
Oh, that does look cool.
But it's really cool with the Amistar in the background. And you've got the
Yeah.
Kabuto. Kabuto, I always chose Kabuto in the game.
Yeah, I was
Always.
just
Yeah.
going to say, yeah. Because
Always.
Kabutops is so much cooler.
But apart from just these really cool art rares, we've also got some new cards as well that have been announced. So we've got the Wigglytuff line. So Jigglypuff, HP 70, basic Pokemon for 1 colorless. Search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. For 2 colorless, Stompy Stomp, 20 damage. Flip 2 coins, attack does 20 for each heads. Pretty cool artwork. Jigglypuff is also one of, I think, pretty much a fan favorite, isn't it? But then we go to Big Boy, Wigglytuff EX. So it's 250 HP for a stage 1 Pokemon. His ability called Expanding Body. So if this Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, it gets an extra 100 HP. So that's a tanky boy.
350.
Plus, can you put a Charm of Courage
No, it's
or whatever
basic,
it's called on that?
basic.
No, it's
Basics.
only basics, yeah.
And then for 3 colorless, you got a Friend Tackle, which is 90 plus damage. If you played a supporter card from your hand during this turn, it does an extra 90 damage. So not a big hitter, but a big taker. a big takes the hits
Tank.
but doesn't give them out.
Yeah.
Tanks the hits but doesn't give them out. So yeah.
But against Lost Box, just put that in the active and they have a hard time unless they're using
Yeah.
something like
Suppose-
knocking that out.
180 with 180 with cleansing gloves, vitality band. You can get the damage up.
Using the Oricorio as well, you can using an Oricorio and a Radiant Serena, and you're getting 40 back each.
Yeah.
50 back. It's 20 from the Oricorio and it's 30 from the Serena.
No, it's 20 from the Serena.
Are we sure? Oh,
Yeah.
God. Our knowledge is awful.
Well,
I
you're
can't believe
not.
our listeners have to listen to a professional last week, Joe, and then they have to listen to us. Feel sorry for them. But like I said,
So you can also put on that Wigglytuff the extra tight band, which takes 30 less damage on
right.
stage ones.
Or there's a new, is it a stadium? Yeah, there's a stadium where it does 10 more damage. Stage 1 does 10 more damage. Maybe it helps with the maths, I don't know.
It's going to be tanky. It's going to be very,
very
tanky.
Yeah.
It's kind of good that it doesn't hit that hard because otherwise it'd be far too hard. But then again, carrying on with the Pokemon 151, I think this episode is going to be the Pokemon 151 hype train, because all we're talking about is all these cards, because they've literally every day there's been new cards announced and leaked and translated. So
but we don't know when we're getting it.
We don't exactly. So for this one, it was the Gengar line. So we've got Ghastly, 50 HP, basic Pokemon, Shrouding Gas, 20 damage, nothing exciting, but look at that art. That art is phenomenal. It's the Kamiya
the
art.
whole line is amazing.
Kamiya is one of my favorite artists in Pokemon. I've actually got a load of his cards, like basics and just commons, but his artwork's phenomenal. I absolutely love Kamiya's artworks. So we've got that. So then we have the Haunter. So the stage 1, HP 80. Ability Lost Soul Return. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon, you may choose a supporter card from your opponent's discard pile and put it in their hand.
I don't know what,
that tags in with Gengar's move.
Yeah, but it's a bit.
It would have been better if it just said trainer card.
Yeah, it's got.
Because then you could just put a crap item back into.
Yeah, you could just put a. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't see how this was gonna be, because it seems like a lot of setup to do 50 extra damage. Really, that's what you're doing, is 50 extra damage.
But if it's a Gardevoir or a Lost Box, they're going to have a hand full of trainer cards.
Yeah, but so then that extra 50 damage is just going to make it, I don't know, 450 instead of 400. And you can only do it when you evolve, which means you have to wait a turn unless you've got another Gengar. Unless you're playing 4,
well,
you have 4 on the bench
for the next turn, isn't it? Basically,
you need to stagger it then, because you can say you evolve all Gengars on the same turn, and then you put 4 supporters. What if one of them's a research? The next turn they just research it away, and then.
Oh, they just use it exactly. If you've got a 1/1, if you got one line, you can just use it.
You just use it. Yeah.
They just use it. But for a psychic and colorless energy, does Mutter for 30 damage. Again, the artwork's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
It looks amazing.
And then Gengar. So stage 2, 130 HP, which is quite low. Poltergeist for 1 psychic energy. Look at your opponent's hand. This attack does 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. And then for a psychic and a colorless, it's horror attack, 110 damage. Put 3 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. So again, just look at how it works.
It's actually not a bad card, that.
It's not a bad card, no.
It's not an amazing card. I think the low HP doesn't help it.
I don't think it's worth evolving twice to get the Gengar. I don't think it's worth doing the Haunter thing, really. I think it's probably better just rare candying it.
Yeah, probably. And
you have to try it.
Against Guardian Lost Box, they're already stuck in their hand anyway.
Exactly.
Isn't there a card that could help it as well? What's the card that is it Ace Roller's Premonition? What I can't remember what Ace Roller's Premonition or Misfortune Sisters. Something like that would help as
Ace
well.
Rollers would draw a card for every training card the opponent has.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So yeah, it would tie in, and I guess you could use
Well,
Q or
yeah.
maybe QV Max or one of them, where you can then put a load of damage counters on.
Okay, carrying on with the Pokemon 151 train, we've got one more Pokemon that's been announced as well. Farfetch'd. Colorless Pokemon, 90 for a basic, one colorless energy, carry along, draw 2 cards, and leak lashing for 1 colorless, 30 damage.
Pretty useless card. Bulk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Farfetch'd for sure, but I mean the artwork's cool again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, but that's bulk until they released like a sick Surfetched.
Yeah. Ash is Surfetch'd.
I mean, having opening with that, and you going first turn 2 is not. I mean, it's not great because then you just get judged or something, or Iono the next turn. So, yeah.
Next batch that got announced, then the Magikarp and Gyarados line, and also there was the Butterfree line as well. So Magikarp, Ken Water, HP 30, basic Pokemon, splash around for 1 water, flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, draw a card. Then the Gyarados. Stage 1 Pokemon, 190 HP. Ability is called Ruffian. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you must discard the top 5 cards from your deck. Pretty harsh.
I can't think immediately what that would synergize with, but I'm sure there will be something that you want to discard your deck, which might be good for it. I don't know.
And then
maybe like a Regidrago V-Star or something. Not that you'd play it with that, but like something that needs to use the discard. I don't know. That can get stuff back from the discard.
Again, another cool artwork though.
A really cool artwork, yeah.
And for its main attack, which is water, and 3 colorless, Hyper Beam, 200 damage, discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So for something that usually hits that hard, usually it's discarded energy from your Pokemon.
Yeah.
But that's not bad for a single prize.
Yeah.
If that can, do you reckon that if that could link with, I mean, God, well, everything can link up with Baxcalibur, as we're fully aware.
Yeah.
Baxcalibur, Chien-Pao, that was on the Chien-Pao deck, it'd be quite good. We also have Butterfree, which is obviously a stage 2. For 1 grass, it's got Whirlwind, 60 damage. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon, one of their benched. And for 2 colorless, the Bye-Bye Flight. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. They shuffle that Pokemon and all attached cards into their deck. Then shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into your deck. So, firstly, Bye-Bye Flight. That's got to be referencing when he left Ash.
Yeah.
Anime, which was heartbreaking still to this moment. And I'm sure we've spoken about this one actually. I can imagine doing
Bye-bye
this
Archeops.
to Archeops, and you can't get Archeops out anymore.
Yeah.
That would be quite interesting. And just double turbo energy. Just double turbo energy.
Yeah.
There's no
But you are sacrificing an attack to shuffle. You're not actually knocking anything out. Like you're sacrificing a turn.
Like getting rid of an Archeops, so you potentially stopping a knockout.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sound good, but also thinking about it, I don't know if
Stage 2 as well.
Stage 2 as well. You'd probably
that's a rare candy.
At least turn 2. It has to be at least turn 2. So yeah, I don't know. It sounds good on paper. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just a shame we don't have adaptive evolution anymore. So with Caterpie and Metapod.
Yeah. If you could do that turn 1, well, you don't need to do it turn 1 because you're not going to get Archeops out turn 1.
But if you do, for example, there is times where a Lugia deck only manages to get 1 Archeops out, that all of a sudden just stops their deck. If you can get it out as quick as possible, get it back in their deck as quick as possible.
Yeah, and it
stops their deck. It's
colorless, so you can just put a double DTE on. You don't even need to be playing a grass deck. You can just play Butterfree as a Lugia tech. I don't know.
What was the card that was like the attack was go and get a grass Pokemon out of your deck and put it on your bench. What was that card we were looking at before?
New card.
Yeah.
Don't
I
know.
can't think.
Yeah,
Is
there's
it low kicks?
a grass Pokemon where the effect of the attack is get a grass Pokemon. Doesn't say basic. So you could get this.
Yeah.
Just get this out.
Mm-hmm.
DTE, switch.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
I'll have to try and find out. I can hear Alex typing away, so he's trying to Google it now. So we can pretend what we know we're talking about.
I am trying to Google it. Yeah, I actually know what you mean.
It was on PTCG radio. I seen it. We've seen it before.
Yeah. I think it was. Let's have a look.
Oh, I just found the PTCG radio video, but it's from a year ago. So it's probably not that one.
Yeah, it was today.
It was today.
Oh, right.
Was it Beedrill?
No, what the single strike? Like the one where you can put it on the bench?
From 151.
Could it be ones that we're probably going to talk about now?
Probably.
Maybe.
So carrying on, we've got a Vulpix.
Oh, right.
Nothing spectacular about this Vulpix apart from it's really cute artwork. Lapras, basic water Pokemon. Water, 1 water energy, shell top transport, search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. And for a water and 2 colorless, Aqua Edge, just 90 damage. Again, cool artwork. Really liking the whole theme of these Pokemon, to be honest. We have more. I think we've got about 4 more pages of these to go.
By the way, I found what the card is. It's kind of okay, but it's the Parasect, and you flip 2 coins for each head. You may search your deck for a grass Pokemon, put it on your bench, then shuffle your deck. So it's a move as well. So yeah, could be. I don't know, because you're using a turn to find the Butterfree, and you might not even find it. Then you have to use a turn to get the Arceus out. By that time, the Lugia's got like, I don't know, 6 Tyranitar's on the bench and running away with it.
Only if Jamie's built the deck.
Only James built the deck. That point is fog crysting for Gardevoir. So
yeah. 6 on the bench, all found with Gardevoir with fog crystal.
Man's got to do what man's got to do.
All Tyranitars.
Carrying on with the 151 hype, we've also got the Rhyhorn line. So we've got Rhyhorn, it's a basic fighting Pokemon, 100 HP, fighting colorless, push down 20 damage. Your opponent switches are active, 1 of the benched, and then for 2 fighting and colorless, Boulder Crush for 70 damage. Again, really cool artwork. I think all the artworks are really cool, to be fair. And then Rhydon, which is a stage 1, only gets 20 HP bump, but it gets a fighting colorless attack called Rack Down for 30 damage, and then for 2 fighting and 1 colorless, charismatic drill, 40 damage. And if you play Giovanni's Charisma from your hand during this turn, it does an extra 140 damage. It's very situational. So,
what does Giovanni's Charisma do?
Didn't we look at this already?
Yeah, it's you something to do with energy.
You can. I think you can
discard 1 from their hand, and you attach from your hand or something.
Yeah.
So choose an energy attached to your Pokemon's active Pokemon. Choose an energy attached to your Pokemon's active Pokemon. Return it to their hand. Then choose an energy from your hand. Attach it to your active Pokemon.
Okay.
So no one's gonna be really playing that. But you never know. Pre-release.
There's the Persian, which you're about to see, that you can search your deck for the card.
Yep. So again, Meowth. Nothing. There's no point really talking much about that. But then the Persian. Ability called Rocket's Call. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Giovanni's Charisma card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck, and then for 3 colorless, slash 70 damage.
No.
So how much damage did the Rhydon do? Was it the Rhydon?
180.
So
3 energy.
But if you're using
Reversal.
Giovanni's charisma, and you've already got one attached because of it was one energy attached from Rhyhorn, you can then use attach for turn, and then Giovanni's charisma to attach another energy on that turn for you, and also disrupt your opponent, and then hit for 180. It's a long-winded,
Very situational.
Very situational.
Yeah.
I don't see much play, but
No.
we could be surprised.
Doesn't Rhyhorn has a stage 2, doesn't he?
Rhyperia.
Rhyperia, yeah. Maybe there'll be a Rhyperia EX.
Yeah, maybe.
There's so much potential, really.
That'll have like 370 HP.
No, because that's not in Scarlet and Violet, is it? This is just the original 151. They're not going to.
That's true. No, eventually there might be a Rhyperia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
That
one.
Yeah, there's potential for a lot of them, to be fair, that are coming out. So we've got this format for a while. So
yeah.
But there's a lot of Pokemon to choose from. There's over 1,000. So let's not run out of. Hopefully they don't run out of ideas too quickly. Carrying on the 151 hype, Spearow ability is evolutionary advantage. If you go second, this Pokemon can evolve during your first turn.
Oh.
Okay.
So, yep, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Again, it's very situational. Again, lost the page. Weird how it does that. And then
stop putting it into it. Just click it. Left click.
That was left click.
No, that's left. That's right click.
That was left click that I did beforehand. Yeah, it was.
Click it. Left click it.
Now it's doing nothing.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, don't know.
But this time I can actually.
There's a little. Go back on it.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So click that little blue thing in the corner.
That.
No, don't click that.
That's
just click away.
Search. That's visual search.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no. When I click away, yeah.
Why just download Chrome, Jamie?
If I was an administrator, I would.
I'm
not. I'm not the administrator of my laptop. And then we've got the Fearow, which again stage 1 evolves from Spearow. For 1 colorless, beak catch, search the deck for 3 cards. That was all. 1 colorless, beak catch, search your deck for up to 3 cards, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck, and then 1 colorless again, speed dive, 50 damage, 90 HP for a stage 1.
Search your deck for 3 cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Nah.
On stage 1, no.
Nope.
Being able to evolve on your first turn is definitely something to look out for.
It's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah,
Again, a Fearow EX that's good might have. But you know what? By the time we get a good Spearow EX that's good enough to evolve into on the first turn, it'll probably be like the Butterfree where it's
too late. Too little, too late.
Yeah, or it'll have rotated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
The next batch it's Gloom and Vileplume. So Gloom ability, early bloom energy. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Quite like it.
It's good. It's good. The Gloom and the Vileplume actually both. Vileplume obviously better, but
and then double colorless, it does drool for 30 damage. But then the Vileplume, a full bloom energy when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn. You may look at the top 8 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon any way you like. I think that's pretty good.
Is it similar to the Magnemite or Magnezone, the one that allows you to you look at the top 8? Or is that the same?
The Magnezone,
or is it the Magnezone, the baby Magnezone, or the EX? And yeah, that you can, or is it from the discard? No, I think it's like look at the top 5, or look at the top 6. and
Yeah.
attach it to any of your Pokemon, however you like.
Yeah.
But that's all your turns, whereas the Vileplume is only when you evolve. So it's only once, and sometimes you need to set up more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So I
5
don't-
cards plus 8 cards. If you've made sure that you've stacked enough energy, you could be getting 13 energy accelerated across 2
Yeah,
turns.
if you're playing one of those like those 30 energy card decks, then yeah.
But yeah, the
Don't think
Magnezone's
it's the
6.
top play.
The Magnezone's
Yeah.
6 cards, and also it's got
Yeah.
to be Steel Energy, which I suppose you would be if you were running Magnezone anyway. But then saying that, a Vileplume, do you really want a stage 2 just to have it in a random deck to energy accelerate? Probably not.
And that's
Really.
any basic energy though. It's not just
yeah,
Steel, yeah.
that's what I mean. But you're not going to have it in like Chien-Pao, are you? You're not going to have it in Chien-Pao.
Yeah,
Although
probably-
Excalibur can accelerate to any Pokemon. It don't have to be a water Pokemon.
It has to be water energy to any Pokemon.
Water energy, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
so
still,
any
but,
bolus attacks can be.
Yeah.
but to still attack with this, you'd still need 1 grass energy, and then
Yeah.
you'd also need to go to stage 2 to do the whole.
And you're not
it's-
going to be doing all that for 90 damage anyway.
I
No,
think this will be really good in GLC.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff like this would be great in GLC. Same with the Rhyhorn and the Rhydon. I think we've kind of
Yeah. I think,
we're thinking competitive. Which is obviously
Yeah.
we're competitive players, but there's a whole obviously GLC is getting huge.
I think they are catering to it now as well.
Yeah, this 151 sound like ideal really for
Yeah. Yeah.
for GLC. There is a coughing and a wheezing line, which I quite like the wheezing. Sorry,
Yeah.
so the coughing is just basically a basic Pokemon, double colorless confusion gas, 20 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. But the wheezing at stage 1, 110 HP, ability explode together. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, flip a coin. If heads, the attacking Pokemon is knocked out. I like it.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I did. I
wonder
did.
I wonder if you can put it in something like what's the new one, Ting Lu, where you any Pokemon with damage counters don't have abilities. Obviously, needs to be in the active, but you can just put Weezing in the active until it gets knocked out, and maybe it won't take it will knock out the other active Pokemon. But yeah, if you keep attacking and then keep doing 10 damage to the bench Pokemon, then yeah, I think it's a solid Pokemon, to be honest.
If it hits heads, yeah, it's great.
It hits heads.
Yeah.
But how many times have you played against Radiant? What's it called? Jirachi. That it just always works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always works until I play it.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it never
But
works.
all you have to do is hit heads, and
Yeah.
it's actually not very hard. It's not hard
It's
to.
50%
That-
chance.
The move also helps with any deck you're playing that needs to hit numbers for damage counters on the opposition as well.
The fact that it does 10 to each is really
Yeah,
cool.
it's like
Really
Absol.
cool. Yeah,
Like Absol.
yeah, definitely. And then the last cards that have been released as of late, this was released so today as of date of recording is Ninetales EX. So obviously I mentioned the Vulpix before. I said nothing spectacular, just really cool artwork. Well, the Ninetales EX is obviously a fire Pokemon. HP is 260. For 1 fire energy, heat wave, 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. We've not seen burned in a while actually. It's probably spicy curry. And then for fire and colorless mirrored flames, 80 damage. But if you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, this attack does 140 more damage.
Copycat still in.
Copycat, yeah, Copycat still was Evolving Skies, so that is still in format. So it can be good, but I just wonder with so much. I mean, Chien-Pao is going to be such a prominent deck.
I don't
You
think
just,
it's hitting big enough numbers.
You just play 4 judge, and then you just judge your opponent, and then you've got the same number of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't think of that. But most places people are going to be running Iono.
Yeah,
So,
but if you
I think
do
we'll
you
still
judge on
see
your
Judge
turn,
plays.
do you reckon over Iono?
Yeah, yeah.
I would play
Because this
judge in
time you
this.
won't want to use Iono
Yeah.
when you're going
Unless-
to give them
unless
the
you've got the same-
advantage.
Unless you've got the same amount of prize cards in Iono.
Or more, yeah.
So yeah, overall, Pokemon 151's looking like a really good set. It's out in less than two. It'll be about 2 weeks from the date of recording. It's about just over 2 weeks in Japan. The full list obviously will be out. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to finding out when we're actually getting these cards. It's really frustrating. We don't know really. Really frustrating.
They're going to shoehorn it into future sets or just release them as a.
I think they will release it.
I think something like this, they'll keep it as
a full set.
A full set.
Yeah.
I think it's too special and too like.
They've made too much
nostalgia
a big deal.
And like it's too sacred almost to slash it up and put it here and there and everywhere.
Yeah,
because this too hyped. Collectors as well, like and
true.
People coming back to Pokemon.
Yeah, because
from the original.
Isn't this the set that you get you can buy the board and everything, the fancy board and.
I think that's you mean the Pokemon Classic.
That's just the Pokemon Classic box.
Oh right, okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't they releasing alongside each other?
I don't think so.
Oh right. Okay. I think we'll get that. Our version of 151.
Maybe I reckon they'll probably announce it at Worlds. Maybe. Well, they'll announce something at Worlds for sure.
There'll be an announcement at Worlds, but I don't think it'll be when the English set of 151's going to be coming out. There'll be a new set though. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Well, Pokemon.
Them Terra Crystal tools that I gave him the idea for last week.
It's very true.
Do you know if they come out now?
It's got to happen, hasn't it? It's got to happen. We kind of had it with if you think back to Sun and Moon, kind of like tag team when they had the tag team, Cosmic Eclipse stuff like that. They had like the crystals. So they did have the Z crystals. Yeah, the Z crystals, which is, I think, if they do, they've got to do something with Terra type. They've got to. Let's see what happens in the DLC because I think that heavily impacts, the items.
Yeah, definitely.
Item and the Pokemon as well. Obviously, we saw, with Sword and Shield, we saw Battle Styles, which was obviously the Isle of Armor, and then we saw Chilling Rain, which was obviously the Isle of the Tundra. Frozen Tundra, with Calyrex. So, it's definitely an interesting time. There's just so much news coming out. There's so many, like every day, it feels like my wallet's getting lighter and lighter because I'm pre-ordering this, pre-ordering that, and it's like, oh well, I want to get ready for Paldea Evolved, but I'm already pre-ordering ETBs from Pokemon Center, and I'm like, my God. But it's a really interesting time. Obviously, we will, guys, we will definitely cover the release of the Pokemon 151. Any news that comes out, we'll obviously keep you updated. I do appreciate that. Last week we spoke heavily about the game, we spoke heavily about the results, and this week we've spoken really heavily about the set coming out. We've got some, like Andy mentioned at the start of the episode, got a few more regionals and special events over the next week or two. So we'll definitely back to results and speaking to the meta. I think it's an interesting time to be a Pokemon player, especially with Paldea Evolved literally right around the corner. So I'm looking forward to cracking open some packs and getting those decks finally built. So putting those proxies into real decks. I'm looking forward to it. So moving on, I think obviously we have the RTFC segment of the podcast, but I think we've actually done about 6 or 7 of them.
I'm gonna say one that I thought about the other day, and it affected me when we played in the league challenge at Fanboy.
Okay.
So it's Cramorant.
Oh, right.
I had my Radiant Charizard in the active, no bench Pokemon because I was bricking.
Yeah.
And
Weakness.
who I was playing just promoted the Cramorant and announced Spit.
For 220 when it couldn't.
Yeah, you can't hit for weakness.
Yeah.
And you've played that card.
Well, yeah,
and you
yeah,
still didn't read
yeah.
it.
At the time, I was just like, yeah, you've done me. Yeah, well done. You just
mean,
see
that would be-
water, and it's like,
That would
Yeah.
be pretty insane if Crown could hit for weakness.
yeah. But then again, there's not many fire Pokemon, big fire Pokemon knocking about.
Yeah, very true. I'm actually going to do another one as well, based on my my experience in my experience in the league cup. Sorry, the league challenge. Superior V-Star. I just never saw it before. I mean, it came out in Silver Tempest. I thought it was pretty cool. But it proper took me out of left field. Did not expect it. It's Regal Blender for 190, which is one grass and two colorless. Regal Blender 190, and you can move any amount of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. So when I was taking knockouts, the superior V-Star had no energy attached to it because it already moved it knew it was going to get knocked out, so it actually moved the energy to the next superior, and I was like, oh my god, so it never ever needed to actually struggle with energy acceleration. And then also its power, which is Starwinder. This attack does 6 damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. And then once you've done it, you switch this Pokemon on one of your bench Pokemon. So again, linked with Regal Blender, it just absolutely ruined me, and I'm very surprised that it's not been. I've been waiting for a good grass deck. I think when we used to play early days back in Geek Retreat, I championed a grass deck for a while. It was the Shaman V-Star with the Rillaboom engine and the Zarude with the Jungle Leap. I think there needs to be more good grass Pokemon out there. Then fire's not really prevalent, is it? So that was interesting, and because it was also a V-Star.
LDF made an Electrode video, a Syrian Electrode.
Oh really?
Yeah.
An update with the new cards.
Yeah. It suffers though because you need Scoop Up Net.
Yeah, you do.
For the Parasects.
Scoop Up Net would be stupid in this format though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely.
And also, so back to the Superior V-Star, the fact that when it put Path to the Peak down, completely shut my Gardevoir EX down. So I was relying on Refinement and Shining Arcana. I was struggling for Energy Accelerant myself, but they were still able to use their V-Star power because it's a power, not an ability. I absolutely rinsed me. And I was really surprised that was the first time I've ever come across it, really. And it was a really, really good deck, and it was paired with is it an Altaria?
Yeah.
Is it from Evolving Skies?
With the supporter, you can just get your supporter.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. So yeah, that's a Tempting Tune. So once during your turn, you may search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, put it in your deck, and put that card on top of it. Then put that card on top, basically. So yeah, they were able to basically get boss's orders to bring up my Pokemon all the time, and absolutely that deck rinsed me. Absolutely rinsed me, and I was really surprised that I hadn't seen it before. But yeah, so there you go, guys. We're making it up for you. We've given you about 7 RTFC this episode, but 2 official ones. The other 5 or 6 were just the one that we forgot. We had to read again. So yeah, so I think that's the end of the episode this week. So I want to thank you all again.
Actually, before you finish, I've just seen a little nugget that maybe be interesting to leave the episode on before you do your outro. But did you see how many
nuggets?
Alex's nuggets? Have you seen how the Pokemon released the stats of how many cards they produced? And to date, they've produced 52 billion cards they've produced to date, as of 2023. And almost half of all the produced cards have been in the last 3 years.
What? Say that again, sorry.
So there's been 52 billion cards produced of all time up to this point. And then in the last 3 years, there's been about 24 billion cards, 25 billion cards in the last 3 years.
Wow.
Which means it's
well,
since 2004.
COVID. Since COVID, there's
Since
been
COVID,
such
yeah, I
a
suppose.
massive boom. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's Alex's nugget for the week.
So
Bit
as I
crazy.
was saying, thank you guys for listening, and I want to thank Alex, Andy, and Kath for joining me again this week. We obviously haven't got a guest this week, so I can't thank him, but I want to thank each and every one of you guys for listening. I also want to celebrate a little fact that our little channel of us for just chatting rubbish every week about Pokemon TCG, we have now hit over 100 subscribers. I know that number. I know that number seems really small when you're in comparison, obviously, to all the big guys out there and all the people with all those massive followings, etc. But that means the world to us. Like, it absolutely means the world to us. You know, we're just 4 random people from the UK and Italy, and just chatting every week about our favorite TCG, and the fact that you guys join us for this journey. You know, it's been fantastic, and we can't wait to see where it goes. You know, also want to say thank you to everyone for, you know, commenting on our videos, liking our videos, and, you know, chatting to us on the comment section. We had a really good response to our Chen Pao versus Guardi deck, and we've had lots of really cool suggestions and discussions on the comments board. And, you know, we
keep pointing out misplays, please.
Oh yeah, keep doing it.
Yeah, please do that, because that's the way we learn.
Fog crystal.
All right, one mistake. I swear to get lambasted by it about it. All your mistakes and misplays are in the outtakes. That's the thing. That's the beauty of editing. You guys can edit yourselves out.
Me and Alex edit them all out.
yeah.
Exactly.
We have 0 misplays in ours.
But no, seriously, we've learned a lot from it. We love chatting to you guys on Twitter. We love chatting to you guys on Instagram, and especially on the comments on our YouTube channel. So please let us know what you want to see in the future. Let us know what you want us to improve. Just keep chatting to us, and we'll obviously keep chatting back. And I just want to say thank you all, for letting us hit this really, really big milestone for us. And I think we've agreed that to celebrate this milestone, I think we're going to do a small giveaway, but we're going to confirm that in next week's episode, because we're still planning out the actual prize and logistics of it. But please keep your ears tuned for that. But it'll be involved around, most likely, our Twitter and our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, all that usual jazz. But yeah. Like and subscribe. So yeah, if you do want to like and subscribe and you want to listen to us every week, the best place to catch us is on our YouTube channel. So go to youtube.com/Training Court TCG. Please like and subscribe, and click the bell for all notifications. We are releasing more content. We're going to be releasing some more gameplays of coming up decks, up and coming decks. We're trying, obviously, building more decks, and I think there may even be a cheeky Chen Pao video coming out. Maybe the video that Alex didn't choose, where Chen Pao actually beat his Gardevoir, but you can tell who edited that episode. But yeah, honestly, guys, check us out on YouTube. Keep listening to us on YouTube. Again, youtube.com/Training Court TCG. To catch us on our social media channels, the best places on our Twitter, so @Training Court, but we also do have an Instagram account, which is @Training Court TCG. To listen to us and not watch us, the best place to do it is on our Podbean channel, which is thetrainingcourt.podbean.com, or you can catch us on Spotify. Again, Spotify, and type in Training Court TCG, or alternatively, we're on Apple iTunes podcasts. Again, Training Court TCG. I want to thank you guys again, and thank my fellow co-hosts for joining me, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.